Council meeting on Monday, 23 March. If you have a cell phone, please turn it off, and we'll call this meeting to order. May we start with a moment of silence to be observed, please? Thank you. The Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Barnes.
Here.
Reed. Here. Brown. Wheaton. Kraus.
Here.
French.
Here.
And Mayor Domingo.
Here. Thank you. Mayor and council members' comments. Are there any comments? Yes, Andy?
Just an explanation of what I'm wearing. Today is Founders Day at Albion College, 180 years ago today, in an agreement between the Methodist Church and the territory of Michigan, Albion College was established.
I remember.
So in celebration, you remember it well, don't you?
If there are no more, we'll move on to the public hearing. We will open the public hearing. If there's any comments from the audience, please come forward with your name and your address and make your comments on the Michigan Department of Natural Resource Trust Fund grant for the River Trail and or do I have to do them separate? Separate? Okay. So this one is just on A.
The River Trail.
If I could just give you a brief overview as you're starting.
Cheryl,
that.
you want to give us a brief overview, please?
I would like to do that, thank you. This is in regards to an application to the Michigan National Resources Trust Fund for funding of a connectivity. We're discovering that the city of Albion is actually the potential hub for many trails in this region. The three primary ones are the Iron Bell, that was formerly known as the Governor's Showcase Trail, the Great Lake to Lake Trail, and the North Country Trail. But in addition, it also connects the Albion River Trail to the, I forgot the other two.
Iron Bell.
Iron Bell, I mentioned that one. There's two other trails. But the potential to connect all of these within our region and across our state and actually nationally is truly a great opportunity that we really need to try to move forward on. The grant application is for a total of $400,000, with $300,000 coming from the trust fund and $100,000 local match, which we hope to accomplish primarily through in-kind contributions. So that's the application in a nutshell. And you have all been provided the maps that outline the property that we're looking at relative to that connectivity. And as you see, it's going basically through the college campus around the perimeter of the cemetery, then connecting back going towards Homer.
I see no comments. That's good. We'll close the public hearing, and council, do you have any words of wisdom on this as well? Yes, Andy?
So I just have a question. From the map that we're looking at, we see the blue trail, which is our existing Albion River Trail. And then we see this orange spur, which sort of, I guess, follows roads. And then the scenic bike trail that's in orange, sort of cutting through the Albion College campus. Is there someone here who can sort of comment, why did we add those sorts of trails, aside from the fact that it's coming through beautiful Albion College? But is that the reason, or is there some other, are there multiple uses for the trail? And so I'm just curious.
I would rely on the expertise of one of our, either the grant writer, Greg Strand, or one of the trail experts to give more detailed explanation.
Thank you.
So when the original trailway was designed, there's different regulations for each trail. So the Iron Bell, the North Country Trail, and the Great Lake to Lake Trail each have different regulations in terms of width and right-of-ways and things like that. So one might be a hiking trail in the example of the North Country. Great Lake to Lake Trail, and then the Iron Bell. Some of them will have a 10-foot with a 2-foot clearance on both sides. So you have different,
I see.
different
Okay.
priorities. Now, the first orange that sort of takes the right angle of the darker orange corner, that's actually running through the quad on campus, and the idea was that people are right there at campus, and in the future, if that sidewalk area were to qualify in terms of regulations, width, et cetera, that could be used as an option. But it's more for designation. I mean, once you're right there at a corner,
Right.
you know, you're gonna use your common sense and say, well, I could go onto the quad, or, and the same is true with this spur, and this actually should be located on the north side of the athletic complex. If and when that extension, that would be sort of a dead end to the White House Nature Center, were to be put in place, again, if it meets regulations, then we could designate it as part of the trail. If not, it would just be signage that says, here's a scenic highway, if you will. So that was the reason for the lighter orange.
That makes sense.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Any further questions? If not, we'll move on to B. Open a public hearing for the Michigan Department of Natural Resource Passport Grant. You want to do a,
Sure. Okay, this is also a Michigan Natural Resources Department for their Recreation Passport Grant. And this is also to support this new biking culture that we're establishing here in the city of Albion. It's really exciting. And one of the amenities that was mentioned is that there aren't adequate places to park your bike throughout the city, along the trails and at our parks. So this would add that feature, and the request is for a total of $10,000, with $7,500 being the grant and a local match of $2,500.
if there's any citizens' comments, please come forward with your name and your address, please.
Good evening. My name is Jim Curry. I actually live in Marshall, but I do a lot of work here in Albion. We're part of the Calhoun County Solid Waste, which we just established a recycling center together with the city of Albion. So it's a pleasure to work with you. I'm just here in support of trails in general. I work for was a volunteer with the Michigan Trail and Greenways Alliance, which is the home trailway group for all of the trailways in Michigan. It's a nonprofit. Michigan is the #1 state in the United States in connected biking, hiking trails. And we've done that since about 2002, competed with Wisconsin and a few other states, but we are #1. And we have a governor right now that's very, very supportive of trails and greenways. And if you put this segment in, eventually you'll be part of what we call the Great Lakes Trail to Trail. That's going to connect Lake Michigan and South Haven through the Calhaven Trail, the Kalamazoo River Valley Trail, the Calhoun Trailway Alliance here, and then on through Jackson. 70% of that trail is already completed, so we have a good jump. The biggest gaps are in Calhoun County and Kalamazoo County because we don't have abandoned rail lines to establish those. So we have to go through properties and things, but we think we can do this. Kalamazoo has done it, and they are down to their last segment of about 7 miles. They're going to connect Galesburg to Augusta, and then on to the Battle Creek Linear Park, and part of that will go through the Fort Custer Recreation Area. If you decide to do this, you're going to be part of a wonderful trail system that is going to increase recreation, tourism. It'll be great for health. The economics of these are just wonderful. They really help communities. They bring people in, they provide recreation for your local area. You have a wonderful college and community in Kalamazoo, K College in Western Michigan, connected to their trail, and it's gonna be a real boon for them. It will be for you. So we're just here in support. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Are there any other comments this evening? See none? Public hearing is closed. Council? See none? We will move on to request for items for individual discussion, request for approval for resolution 2015-15, Michigan Department of Natural Resource Trust Fund grant application for extension of the Albion River Trail.
So moved.
Whoops, excuse me. Been moved?
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further questions? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Kraus,
Yes.
French,
Yes.
Barnes,
Yes.
and Mayor Domingo.
Yes, thank you. B, request for approval of Michigan Department of Natural Resources 2015-17 passport grant application for acquisitions and placements of bike racks in the city of Albion.
So move.
Support?
Moved and supported. Questions, council? See none, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Kraus,
Yes.
French,
Yes.
Barnes,
Yes.
Reed, and Mayor Domingo.
Yes, very much. Citizens' comments. Persons addressing the city council shall limit their comments to no more than 5 minutes. Proper decorum is required. If there are any citizens' comments this evening, please come forward. See none? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
Moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say the same. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you all showing up.
That's the shortest.
Not the fastest, but close.
That's the record.
Not the fastest, but close.
That's not,
But
that's
wait,
only,
wait, wait.
that's only
Councilman
12
Barnes.
minutes.
Really? Really? No, no.
You did. You can go.
Washington's, what's with the hat?
We're gonna have a real good time. You get a senator.
That's a 12-minute council meeting.